The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke. Chapter 10, verses 38 to 42. In the course of their journey, Jesus came to a village, and a woman named Martha welcomed him into her house. She had a sister called Mary, who sat down at the Lord's feet and listened to him speaking. Now Martha, who was distracted with all the serving, said, "Lord, do you not care that my sister is leaving me to do the serving all by myself? Please tell her to help me." But the Lord answered, "Martha, Martha," he said, "you worry and fret about so many things, and yet few are needed, indeed only one. It is Mary who has chosen the better part. It is not to be taken from her." The Gospel of the Lord. Today's Gospel is so beautiful in our life to learn from Jesus and to invite Jesus into our home. So in the Gospel, Jesus has gone to a village called Bethany, and Martha has welcomed Jesus. This is very, very important. Welcoming Jesus into our home is very, very important. Most of the time, we don't welcome, we don't invite Jesus into our home. And the second thing, what we find here, as Jesus is inside, Mary, the sister of Martha, sat down at the feet of Jesus and she listened. Jesus. And Martha is preparing some kind of food to treat him. And the disciples, of course, Jesus might have been with his disciples. But Mary is not helping Martha in the kitchen. And she's coming and complaining about, "Mary, Lord, why don't you tell my sister to help me?" And the answer of Jesus was, "She has chosen the better path." But Jesus did not say, "You have chosen the bad path." Jesus did not criticize her, but Jesus said, "She has chosen the better path." So what is most important here in the life of Martha and Mary? Martha is active. She is welcoming. And she is so much a hospitable person, and she is with lot of commitment. Whereas Mary is, what we find, she is contemplative, she is praying, and she wants to learn from Jesus. So here, sitting at the feet of Jesus means learning from Jesus, listening to Jesus. So this is what a disciple or a student must always learn from teacher, sitting at the feet of the master. And this is what we need, two types of spirituality in our life. We must have the life of action and the life of contemplation. We cannot do only praying alone. Or we cannot do only walking in our life. So we need to combine both things, action and contemplation. So these are two pillars of a human person to experience God's blessings, God's loving presence in our life, action with contemplation. That is what in the church always we are doing both things. We are not only praying in the church, we are also doing a lot of activities, a lot of good things we are doing. And the most important thing is we must listen to Jesus. When Jesus was in the temple, after 3 days, the parents and the relative brothers and sisters of Jesus, they were looking for Jesus. Then the parents sent someone to Jesus inside the temple. You tell him that your father, mother, brothers, sisters are looking for you. And what Jesus said? Who is my mother? Who is my father? Who are my brothers? Who are my sisters? Those who do the will of my Father. So these are listening with me. So who were listening? People, those who want to learn from Jesus. People, those who want to do the will of Father. So they are my father or mother or brothers and sisters, Jesus said. So here we see here, Mary is sitting at the feet of the cross, means she is listening to Jesus. She wants to do God's will, God's plan in her life. Only by teaching we can impart the knowledge of God or the knowledge of the worldly things. So without teacher, without rabbi, we cannot learn anything. As we were children, how we were taught by our teachers or by our parents or brothers and sisters or the elders. So we need to learn, but most of the time we don't want to learn from parents or from brothers or sisters or from elders or from teachers. So this is what today we face in the world, the most difficult thing in our own family life, because we don't want to learn good things. We want to learn so many things, outside things, but we don't want to learn from Jesus. We don't want to learn from God. What the Word of God is teaching me every day in the Mass, the Word of God is being proclaimed. So God is teaching every day. Do we learn something in our life? But we learn so many things, outside things. So that is what, let us welcome Jesus into our hearts and minds. Let us welcome Jesus into our own home. And how much do we make use of our own home for the spread of the good news of Jesus? How much we make use of the possessions, the wealth we have for the spreading of the Word of God? Martha, Mary, they always offered Jesus their house. The house of Peter's mother-in-law was always opened for the ministry of Jesus. So there are so many women in the Bible, they always welcomed Jesus. Even the men, they welcomed and they made use of their house. Peter gave the boat to proclaim the good news. So this is what we need to always think. Whatever we have, the possessions, the intelligence, or the time we have, how do we make use of the proclamation of the good news of Christ? As we have come here to welcome Jesus, let us sit at the feet of Jesus and listen to Him, what the Lord is speaking to us. May the good Lord bless each one of us and bless us all in this Holy Mass.